What's up, y'all? AJ Simmons checking in for the Clean Biz Network. So real quick, I want to go over how you can maximize your profits with your cleaning franchise, all right? I get a lot of people asking me saying, how can you really make money with them? You hear me talking a lot here lately about how you can make more going independent. So for those who have already bought into the cleaning franchise, I really want to kind of help y'all maximize y'all's profits since you're already in there, all right? So I'm going to move me off the screen so you can see what I'm doing. All right, so let's just say, I'm gonna pick a random number. Let's just say that you're making $2,000 a month, right? They're gonna fulfill your business you bought in, and they can say they'll give you $2,000 a month in business, okay? Now, the first thing that you need to be doing is you need to understand what your fees are. So if they say their fees are 20% per month, let's just say on average 20% a month is what they're gonna charge you for your insurance, their royalty, any management fees, etc., right? All of that's in that 20%. So you know you got to take out $400 off top, anything you're making, okay? So let's take out that $400 for the franchise fees, and you got $1,600. Now you also need to take out your employee overhead, okay? Now what is employee overhead? Employee overhead is probably going to be about 60% if you like to pay well like I do, 60% of your gross, okay? So that's $1,200, okay? So let's go back to what we said it was. $1,600 was our profit after the franchise fees. So then you take $1,600 and subtract $1,200, and that's what you're left with profit. But we also got to take out for supplies, okay? Supplies, all right? So you need to go back to the 2,000 and do 2,000 times 0.02. That's probably about 2% is what your supplies usually run. So let's say $40 a month. So we know we were at $400. So you take your $400 profit, subtract another $40 for supplies each month, and you're left with $360. And then $360 a month net. That's after paying all employees, all your overhead is done, everything, right? And so you can profit $360 without lifting a finger to clean, and that's an 18% profit. Okay. So some people might say that's not bad. I say that that's what you should expect when you're dealing with a franchise. Why? Because if you weren't with a franchise, then your profit will probably be about 30% anyway. So usually when you're with a franchise, you're looking to cut about half. You're probably going to cut about half of the profit you would have made if you were independent, okay? And so somebody might say, well, why would anybody go with a franchise then? Well, the reason why is because they're constantly throwing you more and more accounts, okay? So like the time that a lot of these other independent guys take to go out marketing their company, spending money marketing their company, et cetera, you don't have to do that because they're constantly throwing you accounts. Now, here's the thing, too, though. If they throw you accounts, then they're going to charge you, what? A finder's fee or a sales and marketing fee. So if they gave you $2,000 a month account and they charge you 4 times the monthly growth for that account, that's $8,000 that you're going to have to pay them just to get that $2,000 a month, okay? And then we just saw that $2,000 a month ain't actually $2,000 a month, right? If you're paying out, if you're going to have it 100% staff and you're not going to do any cleaning, then that $2,000 a month account is really on about $360 to $400 a month, okay? Now, I could be estimating on the very, very high end for my employee overhead when I said it was $1,600 a month, right? Oh, I'm sorry, $1,200 a month. I said our employee overhead was $1,200 a month, okay? But even if it's $1,100 a month, it still will make a huge difference, okay, in profit. So what you need to do also, like I said, the sales and marketing fee is going to be $8,000, okay? And so they might charge you a 10% interest rate. Right, so it'll be that, and then you divide it by 12, and that's how much you'll have to pay every month on that brand new account. Well, this is more than what the hell your profit was, okay? So you're actually going to make a negative $333 every month. I'm sorry, actually your profit was $360 because we got to take out the supplies. So you're going to be making a negative $373 every month until for that whole first year until the account is paid off if you paid for it through the franchise. So what I always recommend is once they fulfill that initial business or that $2,000 that you initially invested in, don't accept any more accounts from them, okay? Because you want to avoid that sales and marketing fee. From this point on, what you need to do is you need to go out and start finding your own accounts, okay? Get out there, start knocking on some doors and find your own. Now somebody might say, okay, well I don't want to pay anybody to clean for me because that's taking up too much profit, right? So here's what you would make if you didn't pay anybody to clean for you. All right. So you take out your $400 in fees for the franchise, and then you take out your 2% for supplies, and this is what you make out of that $2,000 gross a month. So yes, you'll take home a lot more by cleaning yourself. The problem is if you clean it yourself, then you can only cover but so much ground. Like You know what I mean? You can only do that maybe 3 or 4 more times. Let's say that's one big building giving you $2,000 a month. Well, you probably can do only about 3 or 4 more of those and you're done. Okay, you're gonna be gassed out because it's too much physical work for one human to physically do by themselves. Okay, so that's why I say, well, take your little 18%. Now, which is take your 360 out of that $2,000, and then just get 10 more of those. Right now, you're taking home $3,600 a month, and then you'll be grossing $20,000 a month. Okay, so out of that $20,000, you get 36, right? Which isn't great. I mean, it's not outstanding. It's not the greatest thing in the world, right? But let's say 36 divided by 20,000, still 18%. Okay, so it's like 18% will be your take home. Now, again, is it horrible? No. Is it brag worthy? No. I mean, it's all about what you're looking for. Okay, can you go get 18% interest from a bank? You can't. But can you go get 30% if you went independent? Yes, you probably could. Okay, because you're saving on the fees that you got to pay the franchise, etc., etc. Right. So, and you can also set your price, because that's another mistake that you run into with franchising. They don't always bid correctly. Okay, because a lot of times they use something that's called a production rate. Okay, now when you got a production rate, they're doing it based off of how many square feet that you can clean in 1 hour span. Well, a lot of times they say that you can clean a 4,000 square feet in 1 hour, when in actuality you probably can't. Most people probably can only clean about 1,500, 2,000 square feet per hour. Okay, so it all depends on if you experience how fast you. So I think now, after having that information, I think your question should be at this point is building a company, having employees, and all this, the stress that comes with being an entrepreneur, is it worth 18% profit? You know what I mean? Give or take. Because that 18% could turn into 15% if the franchise fees are higher than 20%, and that, like the illustration I just gave you. Or it can turn into a 20% profit if the franchise fees are lower. It all depends, okay? Then you got to consider how much you're really paying per hour, right? I just did 60% of the gross. That's an estimate, a gross estimate, but a rough estimate I meant. But yours could be give or take. So the question is, you need to run your numbers and actually calculate, is buying a franchise the right decision for you, okay? If you really want to start a cleaning company, I can help you whether you decide to go clean a franchise or not. My goal is just for you to maximize your profits. I don't really care to compete with the cleaning franchises or whatever the case may be. My whole point is just to make sure that you get what you need to be successful with your cleaning business, okay? So if you want more guidance like this, where I really go into depth and break the numbers down, you can join the Clean Biz Network, only $25 a month right now. So you might want to get in before it jumps up to $47 a month. We're about to raise it here shortly. But now we actually got something even more special that's going to be really take the Clean Biz Network to the next level. But I'm going to speak on that after we finish working out the kinks and stuff on that. But anyway, join us if you like this video. If you like these breakdowns, we got a lot more of these inside the actual group. So this is stuff I don't really like to put out on YouTube because it's very deep knowledge and it's valuable, and this is the stuff that you really should have to pay for, in my opinion. It took me years of messing up and not necessarily understanding what my cash flow was and how I got my cash flow. So for me to take my mistakes and package it all up and just give it to you so you can have it from the beginning, that's very valuable information. So that's why I sell it, in case anybody wonders why I just can't give it to you, right? If I care so much, right? Well, that explains it. All right, so anyway, thank y'all for watching. Subscribe, like, and sharing, and comment. This is AJ Simmons for the Clean Biz Network, and I will talk to y'all shortly.